Listen, if it's your first time having a job and you're from high school or from varsity and you just literally started working, do not date at work. Do not date your colleagues or your boss or who don't have a relationship at work. Listen to me. Listen to me. I'm speaking from experience, okay? Don't date at work, guys. Okay? Don't do it.
Hi, darling. Welcome back. The concept of a work wife or a work husband is something that I find very infuriating. I don't understand. Are you not getting enough attention at home? Is your partner not enough for you that you need to supplement it with someone else at work? There's a level of disrespect that I find is not talked about with this concept of a work wife or a work husband. What inspired me to make this video today was a post that was quoted by Nolene on X or Twitter. The quote was a reaction basically to a man who had received 2 slices of a cake, apparently from his work wife. And I agree with her. The concept of a work wife, a work husband is something that makes me angry. It's a concept that I find disrespectful, and it's a concept that I find negates a lot of boundaries. It's a lot of boundary pushing. Before I go on with this topic, I want us to watch a few videos of people in South Africa talking about this concept of a work wife and a work husband.
Anyone who is still looking forward to going to work at this time of the year, that person has a work spouse. I'm telling you, that person has a work wife or a work husband. That is the only logical reason anyone could still be excited or looking forward to going to work at this time of the year. The rest of us, we are tired. We cannot wait for our workplaces to close. But 9 to 5 Romeo and Juliet, those are the only ones that are still excited and looking forward to waking up early and going to work.
Hi, my name is Ben. What is this I hear about people only being excited to go to work because our partners are there? Is this like a thing? Is it everywhere, or is it just work? Is it at churches too? Like, you're telling people are excited to go to places because they know our partners are going to be there? Crazy. Yay. That's what I mean. Like, people just don't fear nothing anymore. They're not scared.
Guys, if you have a work wife situation going on, or work husband, whatever situation going on with my person, stop playing with fire. Like, what do you mean ukuthi umuntu wami is your work wife? Like please make me understand. Ganjani? Like, these work wife and work husband situations, they escalate real quick. Like, it's crazy, because now they start having a bond, calling each other sweetie, lovey, and then now it's like, mutwaka, why? Bro, imagine I took out lobola for this person, when he's just gonna call her your work wife. Wes, like, I'll keep on 1 rand, but you're already calling my person work wife. We are being tested, ladies and gentlemen.
On this concept, work wife and work husband, do those people disclose to their actual partners that mna emsebenzini, I have my person? And what would you do if you find out that your person, which is your husband or your partner, has someone at work and they're calling each other work wife or work husband? What will be your take? And those people, they bring each other lunch. They go out together. Get lunch, like, but I mean, they're not actual partners, but maybe or like, what the hell?
What is a work wife or a work husband? The concept of a work wife or a work husband It's someone that you have a very friendly relationship with. You can share even personal things, you share lunch together, and you have a level of proximity within the workspace that allows you to engage with each other throughout the working hours. It's usually posed as a friendly interaction, as harmless interaction within the workplace with someone of the opposite sex. A lot of the time, people talk about it as if it's just a light-hearted thing. People were saying things like, "No, my work husband brought me this at work. My work husband bought me that at work." Those ideas that your work husband dropping you at home, bringing you lunch, your work wife bringing you lunch, is something that for me, I find extremely confusing. What are we here to do at the office? When we go to the office, we're going there to make money. Sometimes I feel like people forget that we are in South Africa and unemployment is always a looming possibility. So why would you ruin a space, potentially a space that allows you to have your livelihood, in case that relationship turns sour? The first thing that I notice that creates these work wife, work husband relationships is proximity. You spend so much time together with this colleague. You share even personal details about your personal life. You share your lunch together. You have maybe even smoke breaks together. That does not mean your colleague is someone you should share a lot of emotional details with. But obviously, humans are not perfect and they will do what they want to do. So it's usually relationships because of proximity. You're in the working space for a very long time. Most of our lives are spent at work. So those relationships happen a lot in the workspaces. This proximity with colleagues, spending hours together, creates an environment whereby boundaries can be pushed. What do I mean by boundaries can be pushed? Boundaries can be pushed in the sense that it starts by little actions, it starts by little behaviors. Cheating doesn't start as a big bang. It starts slowly at most times with planning, with accountability, being able to communicate with someone. It starts like that. And every single person that I've talked to who has worked in a corporate environment, a call center, tells me that during year-end functions, those boundaries become very blurry because people are drunk, people are celebrating Christmas, people get bonuses, people are in a joyful mood. So a lot of boundaries and inhibitions are basically less prohibited, less inhibited. People are more open. People are willing to do certain things at work functions. There's so many stories of things that happen at year-end functions that people come back embarrassed by what they did at the work function. Let's think about this. So if you do pursue this work husband, work wife relationship, as harmless as people claim to be, you're dealing with human beings. And as you're dealing with a human being, there is the probability of you getting attached to that person. There is a probability because you've pushed certain boundaries. You might have been even intimate in some way. You have pushed a boundary. There's going to be someone who's going to have emotions attached. And the problem with that is, in case that work wife or work husband relationship doesn't work out, there's a probability of a negative working environment. I'm always perplexed and confused when people basically defecate where they eat. This is where you get your money. I have never found anything appealing about dating within the office. There's nothing appealing for me when I go to work. I was going to work to make money. I was going to work in order for me to pay rent and buy groceries. And I don't want anyone messing with my money. Those relationships can become very toxic because what if now you guys are no longer speaking with your so-called work wife, work husband, and there's a new batch of interns. There's new people in the workspace. There's new potential work wives and work husbands, and that can create a very toxic environment. Now, you could even lose your job. There's people who left comments about losing their jobs because of this work husband, work wife situation. There's people who have children now because of dating within the workspace. What if you also deal with the possibility of a bitter work wife? Because you maybe had an intimate moment with her, now everything is sour. What are you going to do when she reports you for harassment falsely? What are you going to do if you get falsely accused? Because you could actually be accused of something like that in HR. For me, I don't know. I think people enjoy risky behavior. I think people like the idea of getting caught. People like the idea of doing something that they know they're not supposed to be doing. I want you to respect your place of work. We need money. We need these jobs. The economy is very bad. There's a level of disrespect to your partner that is at home, who's waiting for you as you come back from work. You have to have boundaries at the workplace. We came here to work. I don't know, maybe it's because I feel like people have so many needs that they don't communicate, that they end up outsourcing those things. You're outsourcing certain needs from your work husband, your work wife that you might not get at home. You can have friends at work, you can have people you are acquainted with, but it doesn't have to be this work wife, work husband situation. It's extremely disrespectful to your partners. I think for me, the reason why it hurts is because I am an individual I believe in the beauty of being in a healthy relationship, being in a respectful relationship. I would like for people to promote those kinds of relationships. We already have enough representation of toxic relationships, and I think that just fuels this work wife, work husband concept, just fuels this unhealthy dynamics that are in relationships, and people normalize it because toxicity is kind of like entertaining. Toxicity is the norm. Are you bored at home? I think if you want to have a work husband or a work wife, it's because you're bored at home. Why do you need someone else to entertain you? You're there to work. Also, choose people you actually love and they love you back, because sometimes I think these things are also because you're not with someone that you're truly in love with. You're not with someone who fulfills your needs. That's why you're outsourcing your other needs at work. If you truly loved your partner, yes, humans make mistakes. Humans are fallible. Humans are not perfect, but we learn from our mistakes. But the conscious choice to continue with this work wife, work husband relationship is no longer a mistake if it's a consistent pattern. If you truly loved your partner, the concept of even entertaining someone else wouldn't even be a thing. Yes, you have eyes. Yes, you're a human. You might find other people attractive, but that does not mean you're an animal and you should just react and pounce on every single feeling or instinct that you have. We're human beings. We appreciate beautiful things, but it doesn't mean you have to follow every single instinct. There's instincts that we have. Like sometimes you get so angry at someone that you want to physically fight them. But because you have an intelligence of a human being, you know to stop yourself from not engaging in violent behavior. It's the same thing. You can find someone attractive, but it doesn't mean you have to react to it. I just feel like this concept is disrespectful to your partners at home. I don't like it. You can call these people who have an issue with work wives and work husbands jealous. That's okay. You can call them jealous. You can call them all these things. But if we're being honest, the idea and the concept of a work wife is actually it's a slippery slope to boundary pushing. It's a slippery slope to other intimate things potentially happening. And it's disrespectful to your partner. So I want to hear your opinion. How do you feel about the work husbands, work wife conversation? Have you ever had one? Or do you know a scandal in your office, including work wives and work husbands? I'd love to hear your comments in the comment section. And if you got to the end of this video, leave a book emoji in the comment section, and I truly appreciate you watching, darling. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.